Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Cam Ebben. Of course, if you might know him, he was a Mazda MX-5 driver, and so is everyone's favorite MX-5 driver from Wisconsin or something. I don't know. Hi, Cam. How are you?
I'm great. I just want to say thanks for having me, Casey, and I'm happy to be here. So thank you.
Yeah. So let's for people that don't know you, kind of tell a little bit about yourself.
So I'm 20 years old. I'm from Wisconsin, like Casey said, Appleton, Wisconsin, to be specific. And I'm currently racing in the Spec MX-5 Challenge presented by Toyo Tires. I got my start in racing through the generations before me. My grandpa has raced a lot of stuff like dirt cars, ice racing also, because in Wisconsin, the lakes freeze over, so you can race on the ice. He's raced Trans Am and has also found some success in SCCA. He's been a national champion. And then his kids, that would be my dad and also my uncle. They've been racing for quite a while. So um, it was basically in my family for a while. And when I started go karting, that went well and naturally progressed now into the Mazda scene. It was my dad actually who has raced Mazdas and kind of opened my eyes to the great program and support that they provide for young racers. So that was kind of where my next step was after go karting was into the Mazda ranks. So Spec Miata for 2 years, and now this year I joined Spec MX-5. So that's a little bit about me.
So are you in? So Spec MX-5 is that for just for clarification? Is that the same as the Mazda MX-5 Cup that's currently in IMSA?
No, it's the step below that. So right now I'm racing in Spec MX-5, but I do have my sights set on the IMSA MX-5 Cup
Yeah,
uh, next year. So
it's confusing.
yeah, that's
Um,
fine.
okay, so really, I know you come from a family of racing. Like, racing is not in Wisconsin. It's kind of like a lot of people wouldn't think of racing in Wisconsin about like 20, 30 years ago. But I mean, really kind of started with like guys like Alan Kowicki, and everyone just kind of followed in his path and goes on there. But usually you wouldn't take a lot of those guys that took the NASCAR route. But you're kind of taking the sports car route here. So what got you into, obviously from your family connection, but did you just fall in love with sports cars all those time?
Yeah, so just growing up as a kid, bunch of trips to Road America like multiple times a year because I'm only an hour away from that track, and yeah, that just kind of set the bug, and I fell in love with road racing. Honestly, I was just a little more up my avenue, and I just found a bit more of an enjoyment in that versus some of the oval stuff. But I still really like to watch oval and NASCAR and things like that because that's also big, and dirt racing that's also big in this state. So I like a good mix, but yeah, I prefer the sports car route for sure.
Funny enough, guess what's at Road America tomorrow?
Yes, sir. Xfinity, baby.
Of course, the NASCAR Xfinity Series will be at Road America at time of recording. So of course you're gonna. How fun is it to just go there and watch? I mean, obviously you've driven there,
Mhm.
and you actually won there.
I did. I
What was
did.
that like?
It felt great. Pretty competitive series in Spec MX-5. Lots of great drivers. It was the biggest field of the year, I believe. We had 20 cars. So I believe that's the biggest field of the year. So it was great to get the win on the home turf and things like that. So it was a lot of fun. But I always like just going there and even just spectating races because Xfinity tomorrow, it's always a blast. The track is just beautiful and it's awesome to go to. A very, very low key vibe at the track. So I always like going for sure. And it's just very scenic track. Yeah.
Yeah. And you've also what you've also kind of done is that you've also this personality of yours. It's kind of very outgoing and all that. Have you always been like that?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, I'm in college right now. So that also, starting out in college, you got to take that step a little bit, meet some new people. So that helps. But yeah, I mean, I've always been down to meet a lot of people, and I always just like extending out there and getting to meet new people and things like that. So yeah, I'd say pretty much I've been like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Instagram has been probably one of your is that your like main source of social media where you like post a lot of things and what's like you went around. I think it was the MX-5 and the Spec Miata garage and stuff.
Hmm.
What was that like?
It was cool. I just think it's cool to have someone in the series kind of take a step and I guess get to talk to some of the drivers and kind of bring us all together. So I thought it was cool to shoot just a little video. I asked the drivers in the Spec MX-5 series who their favorite driver to race against was, and then I kind of went around and asked a bunch of people. So it was just cool, and I like making videos like that. And if I haven't met people already, getting to meet new people or introducing them to my audience, things like that. So, but yeah, I'd say Instagram is definitely my main avenue for growing my brand and pushing myself and pushing my racing and things like that. I'd say that's where I mainly get it done. So yeah.
So do you feel like I know this so kind of explain where how the rest of the season for Spec MX-5 is like. Where do you guys go?
So for me, my last race is going to be at Barber Motorsports Park. That'll be my last regular season race, and then they have the championships at VIR in Virginia, and that'll be at the end of September. And that's paired with the SCCA runoffs that are that same week. So I'll be racing my Spec Miata also. So I'll be doing both at that event. So for Spec MX-5, I just got those two events left.
Lots of things and still, yeah,
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 it is kind of and then after that, do you plan to do like, the scholarship shootout or anything like that? Or
that is the goal. Yes.
so I mean, a lot of guys have done really, really well with that. I mean, you look at what, it's piloted guys like last year, Thomas Annunziata and Nate Cicero, and I can't believe I said both those names right. So um what would it, what's that going to be like if you decide to do that, and are you ready for something like that?
I think so I've had contact with Nate and Thomas and other people that have kind of been either through the shootout or have been involved with kind of the process of it. And I think I have a very good understanding of what it takes and what they look for. And what helps me is I think I have a pretty good marketing background as well because I'm a marketing major in college. So I
Nice.
think that helps me get another understanding of the different layers to growing your brand and basically holding an audience and basically promoting yourself and your sponsors and unique ways to do that and kind of just the business side of the sport. I think I have a different lens than some of the other drivers because of my background in marketing and things like that. So, and I think my on track skills are pretty solid. So I think I have a good idea of what it takes, and I think I'm pretty prepared, but only time will tell. So yeah.
What's it gonna be like going to Barber? What's that track like? I know Mr. Barber is always that place is so fun to see, especially, of course everyone knows the Indy cars go there and all that, but what's it gonna be like heading to a place like that?
Um, I'm really excited. Bucket list track for sure. It just looks awesome. Never been there before, but lots of laps on iRacing. One of my favorite tracks there. Just really looking forward to it. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I just couldn't be more excited, honestly.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so I feel like we need to get to know you a little bit,
Yep.
Cam. Okay, so what are Cam's superstitions to racing if he has them?
I really don't have too many. I kind of just play a pretty level head. I kind of just see like I don't put any pressure on myself, and I kind of just race knowing that I'll do the best that I can. I guess I don't try to set too many like way too high expectations to because then if it doesn't quite work out, end up a little disappointed. So I basically just have the idea every race weekend. I keep a level head and just know that I'll do the best I can. And if that's a win, that's a win. If it's not, then it just is what it is. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay. Um, Favorite thing to eat, like what's your go-to place for food?
Taco Bell for sure. Might
Oh,
get some later.
goodness. Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, let's not talk about that.
Okay.
Not for people that know, the people that follow this channel, they know I'm not a Taco Bell
Oh, really? That's all right.
fan. Although the green, if you've ever had the Baja Blasts,
Yep.
it tastes like the color green. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah. I
do.
mean, I mean, tastes pretty good. I will say.
They do.
Yep.
Yeah. So, um, okay. Favorite track to go to.
Let's see. Probably Watkins Glen. I went there for the first time at the start of the month this year, and just definitely my favorite track. And then Road America, I think, is my second favorite.
Okay.
Mhm.
Who likes Watkins Glen?
Yeah, it's a blast.
I know. I know my New York friends who cover racing are pretty excited to go up there in about a month. So, um, okay. Best favorite dessert that you like?
Uh, I just got to go with the classic ice cream.
Ice cream.
Pretty simple. Yeah.
Um, what's one thing that people don't know about Appleton, Wisconsin that they might find interesting?
Uh, I hate to admit it, but I believe it's the drunkest or one of the drunkest cities in the country. I don't know how that came to be, but the Wisconsin must be with all the like the brewing and things like that. It's just a
Yeah.
recipe for
I mean,
disaster.
the mill. I mean, I've been to I mean, obviously, the Miller Brewing Company's
Yeah.
there, so
Yeah.
I have been there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, they
Nice.
give tours. I also went to the Anheuser Busch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
So yeah,
All right.
I'd say that's a bit of a fun fact if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, what are three things people do not know about Cam?
Let's see. My middle name is James. I have a dog named Thor. And I drive a Mini Cooper on the street.
All right. Well, Cam, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck, Barber, in a few months.
Of course. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, and you have a great rest of your night.